Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Gabrielle. So today I'm gonna do another new makeup releases because there's more makeup that has been released. It's kind of what happens. And so this is my second installment. I was gonna wait a whole month to do my next one from my last one, but my list is getting pretty long. It's been 3 weeks since my last one. So if you're interested in seeing what has been new to the market, what these shenanigans that these fucking owners are doing is basically what's been going on, then just keep watching. So Jacqueline came out with liquid lipsticks and lip liners. Here is the came out with like a video on her Instagram. I don't know if it was on her brand's Instagram, but it was on hers. And she was saying like it started off with her just like advertising these lipsticks, and it looked like a fucking movie trailer with the way that her brand name popped up, and I just thought that was like so dramatic and funny. But then there just comes a point in the video where she stops talking about the makeup completely, and she starts talking about like, for all the young girls out there, you can be anything that you want to be. If you're bullied or if you don't fit in or something like that, you know, you're in charge of your own destiny. And I'm like, this is a lipstick. And she starts talking about like, oh my god, like I have to be an idol, I have no choice but to rise up and to stand up. And I'm like, and like her nieces and her mom are in the video, and I'm just like, okay. It was just so fucking much. I'm like, girl, at the end of the day, it's a fucking liquid lipstick. And I also kind of wonder if most people are moving away from liquid lipsticks. Personally, I have some, but I tend to lean more towards like something glossy or something creamier. But I feel like most people don't really wear them anymore because liquid lipsticks can be quite drying. Maybe unless you want to wear them under your mask, but I feel like for the most part, most people are kind of getting tired of them. And then this is supposed to be like a nude line again, which she's done before. I don't think it's a very great range of nudes because it's supposed to be nudes for, you know, every skin tone. And I think like, okay, you put 2 browns in there. Hooray. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. I can't be bothered to put on a lip liner, and I don't really need any more liquid lipsticks. So Natasha Denona came out with a new eyeshadow palette, and it's called the Loco palette, and it is $129, which is usually how much her palettes are. She has smaller ones that are only $65. This is so ugly. Like, I love colorful palettes, you know, but this is just like, what the fuck? I don't know what it is. I don't know why I hate this. And like, I know people that have bought this and they rearrange the shades. I personally just don't want to spend $129 plus tax to rearrange the shades because the palette is magnetic, so you can like remove the pans and stuff. But like, even like the outer packaging, I'm just like, what? Even the shimmer to matte ratio bothers me because, you know, there's 15 shades here. So there's 6 mattes and then there's 9 shimmers. And like, I love a good shimmer. I haven't heard that like her shimmer formula is something that's like one of a kind or anything like Pat McGrath's. If there's a palette that I want to try from her, it's the bronze palette, but I would buy it on a sale. And I also am just like kind of fighting with myself because I'm like, why do you want another warm neutral palette? And there's nothing wrong with warm neutrals, I love them, but it's just like, why do you want another? I hate this. This is ugly. And it's expensive. And that's it. Nyx collaborated with Tetris. Oh my god. Dude, I don't, okay. You know, Tetris is a magnificent game. This has nothing to do with her and everything to do with this. I mean, I do understand, but I also don't, because it's like they want it to look like, you know, the Tetris blocks, but it's just too much. Because how many fucking shades is this? There's 80. A girl, like Morphe who? And the pans are probably small, like they're probably like the size of your like finger tip. Yes, a nail did break. I'm due for a fill-in anyway. They also come with lip kits and an epic liner kit, which has 5 pencils in white, blue, light blue, pink, and yellow. See, I don't think that's bad. I could fuck with that, but even like their butter glosses, I do like their butter glosses, but this how much is this? $45 for who? It's $45, girl. Did you all know that Nyx collaborated with Princess Nokia? I don't think she like created the shades herself, but she also had like lip kits and stuff. And I feel like that wasn't mentioned like at all by anyone. Like, I like Princess Nokia. Dominique Cosmetics, which is Kristen Dominique's brand. She's a YouTuber. She came out with the Now or Never collection, which is inspired by strong women who take risks, follow their dreams, and make history. So I am a woman. And this is supposed to be about, you know, like, again, like empowerment. I think this is very cringy. Like, okay, this eyeshadow palette itself, it's called the Now or Never eyeshadow palette. I think that the packaging is very cute. And I also think that it looks quite luxurious and heavy. And, you know, I do like a 6-pan palette. I think that you can create a very concise, interesting color story with it, but this is like monochromatic. But this has a pressed glitter in it, and for it only being 6 shades, the palette is basically ruined. The shade names are cringy because you have self-made, powerful bitch, empire, boss babe. The phrase boss babe makes me physically throw up. There was this one time somebody sent me a message and they were trying to get me into a fucking pyramid scheme. They were saying like, are you busy on this day at this time? You should come to this meeting for a job. And I forget what exactly it said, but it wasn't like much more detailed than that. It was very, very vague and didn't say what the job was. Just said this date and this time. And I don't think it was in person. It might have been like a Zoom meeting or something. I mean, I really don't know, but the kicker was that they said, become your own boss, babe. So I threw up a little bit because no, what the fuck? Like, I know what you're doing. And literally like 2 seconds after I didn't reply, it was quite creepy. They messaged me again and they said, don't you want to be a boss, babe? So I have a vendetta against this palette just by default. And then she also posted like this IG video of like her and a few other women that are business owners basically, and kind of talking about their journey and things like that and how they got where they are now. And I'm not like saying that their success is a bad thing. And you know, most of them said like, oh, a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people said that I couldn't do this. And that's a terrible thing to say to somebody. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, why would you tell someone like you are incapable of achieving your dreams? Like, that just sounds like self-hatred. Yeah, but yeah, the thing about that video was it was supposed to be like super inspiring to like other women, right? Like, look at all these other women doing things. And it's like, I can see that, but for me personally, it didn't inspire me at all. I don't want to own a business. I don't want to be an empire. I don't want to be seen as powerful. That makes me sound like a dictator. Like, I wouldn't tell my mom, like, you're so powerful. Like, she'd be like, what? The thing, and like, I am looking too deeply into this, so let's just put that out there. But the thing about this is like, being a strong woman isn't about like having a lot of money, okay? And that's just kind of what bothers me with this message here. And again, like, look, you could tell me if I'm reaching. You know, women are allowed to feel, you know, differently about these things that are supposed to be empowering for us. You know, we're allowed to like have our own opinion of it. It's just cringy to me. The eyeshadow colors I have, and I don't, you know, the glosses are cute. So Tarte has a sister brand called Sugar Rush. And I think they're directed more towards like adolescents or like preteens or something. And they recently came out with this palette called Positive Energy. What is going on? I hate these different shapes. I know that I was kind of like an elf and Chipotle apologist. You know, those pans were different shapes. But I felt like there was no wasted space. And I felt like it was just a cute, quirky thing. But this, I mean, you could, I guess, say that this is quirky. But like this is just like painful to look at. Don't tell me that they fucking say it's infused with crystals or something. And if this brand is directed towards like adolescents and things like that, why is this $32? Like, this does look like it's for a child, but that's not a child price, okay? Like, children's play makeup should be like $5 or something. And, you know, I don't think this is like play makeup. It's like real, I guess, but it's just like, girl, I kind of like the embossing on the diamond-shaped palettes, but the fact that they're all over the place and the fact that at the end of the day, this is a boring color story, no. When I first saw this picture, I was like, why did Dior come out with powders again? I thought they just came out with powders. They're not powders, they're bronzers. I don't know why on Trendmood they're only advertising 5 shades, but they actually have 8. The palest bronzer is literally like the color of my skin. Like, holy shit. Like, sure, you know, I guess that could be, you know, a color that's needed for someone that's super pale. But, you know, I feel like they didn't go deep enough. And it also just annoys me when they don't advertise all the shades right away. Like, why is the price in euros? What the fuck is Douglas? I'm assuming Douglas is a store in Europe and that this is exclusive there. I don't think this is available in my country, and I have no idea what this says because this is in another language. French? Yeah, so I don't know how the rest of the bronzers look, but apparently there's 8, but there's only 5 shown here, which makes this look like a very bad shade range, so I don't know the true shade range. But if the deepest bronzer is shown here, then you could have done better. And this is what I'm saying, like, it can be kind of performative when brands come out with something like a foundation or a super basic product, like Dior just came out with their powder, and a couple of the shades did look too similar to each other, but I felt like the range wasn't terrible. But then they come out with these bronzers and they're not as good shade-wise. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, Colored Rain came out with bronzers as well, and they have 6 shades all shown. I love Colored Rain. I just think that they have really, really nice products. I wish I could have tried the Safari Rain palette. I never got around to like buying it, and now it's discontinued. But their lipsticks, those are liquid lipsticks that I like. Those are liquid lipsticks that I think are comfortable. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out these, you know, bronzers. Again, Black-owned business, and I really love this brand. Morphe is collaborating with somebody named Avani. I have no idea who this person is, but they have 16 million followers. This is an interesting collection. More bronzers. Like, this is one of the first collabs I've ever seen that like had bronzers in it, and like not just one, because I hate when there's a fucking face palette and an eyeshadow palette, but this is like the bronzers are separate and there's actually like more than one, which is quite interesting, because a lot of the times when an influencer makes like face products in a collab, it's just shit that, you know, fits their skin tone, which like it makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense because multiple people are supposed to buy this. It's basically like a very colorful palette, and the last 2 rows actually look like cake liners, like water activated liners, and I think that's kind of interesting. I wonder if that would get in the way of the eyeshadow, if it would like mess up the eyeshadows above it. I feel like it probably would, honestly. Like, a cake liner palette is not a bad idea, but I feel like it would just be better if it was only the cake liners and nothing else. I mean, at least the eyeshadow palette isn't fucking 35 shades. They have surpassed the need of 35 shades. For who? Game Beauty came out with their second eyeshadow palette, second product in general, and it's the Fantasy palette. It's basically like a half blue, half pastel color story. I think that it fits really nicely as like a winter going into spring palette. I think that these colors fit both of those seasons. I mean, you could wear any colors you want for any season, but you know what I mean. I want to try this brand, and I've been like very curious about this brand ever since they released the Adventure palette. I love the idea of this brand. I love the idea of having like video games with makeup. I love the artwork on these palettes. I don't know if I would buy this palette per se, but I'm definitely like following this brand. I just need for them to release a palette that makes me go, hell yeah. And Alien Cosmetics came out with the Strawberry Milkshake palette. I bought this. I bought this and the Serendipity palette. I've been wanting to try Alien Cosmetics for a while, but then I saw Amy Loves Makeup's video about trying out their eyeshadows and she hated them. So I was like, oh shit, okay. Their eyeshadow formula used to be private labeled, like Morphe, like when they started, their eyeshadows used to be private labeled. But Alien Cosmetics actually changed their formula and like made their own basically. and I heard that it was better. So I'm very curious to try this out. The color stories for both of those palettes look very, very fun and unique. The artwork on those palettes as well, like, really killed me. I was just like, dude, hell yeah. Like, I mean, obviously I didn't buy it like just for the artwork. I will probably make a video using those palettes when I get them. I don't know when I will get them because they are pre-order, but I will definitely get back to you. ColourPop is back with another one of their huge collaborations.
Disney Channel. White girl, it wasn't Miley Cyrus, her name was Liz.
Lizzie McGuire?
Lizzie McGuire.
I quite enjoy Lizzie McGuire. I feel like even rewatching it as an adult, it's just a good show, period. Like, I watched it as a kid, I grew up with it, but it's not cringy to watch as a kid. I think it's just a good show, and I loved Hilary Duff as a child. The thing about like really huge collabs like this, especially ones from like my childhood, it's very, very, very easy for me to separate the actual makeup itself, what's inside, from the exciting packaging and the exciting thing that they're collaborating with. It's very, very easy for me to do that. Let me explain what the actual collection is. So there's the eyeshadow palette, What Dreams Are Made Of. There are 2 Glitterly Obsessed, there's a lip scrub, and there's 2 blushes, and then there are 4 So Juicy glosses. I think that the So Juicy glosses were a fucking genius idea, because those are like the kind of lip glosses that people used back in the early 2000s. I don't want the blushes. They keep fucking repeating themselves with these same blush shades. It's just like, oh my god. The Glitterly Obsessed, and you're not gonna catch me out here buying glitter, no. The palettes. The palette is cute, but I don't want it. I just don't think it would be practical for me to buy this. Like, I do think that it matches the aesthetic fine, you know, because ColourPop has, you know, blown it with their collabs in the past. Like their Hocus Pocus collab, I felt like wasn't interesting enough. Like the whole top row was just like, dude, come on, you could have done without this entire top row. This palette does have a pressed glitter. Why does everything have a fucking pressed glitter? And you know, I also think it's a genius idea to have this released during the spring, because Lizzie McGuire's colors are very like spring hippie colors. So, you know, this makes sense. Nostalgia does sell. Nostalgia can also mean that brands are out of ideas, but nostalgia does sell because, you know, this wouldn't make sense for something like this to come out when we were all kids watching the show. You know, obviously we're adults now and we're putting on the makeups, and I think that this is a good idea. I can see it and I understand the excitements, but I no. Nyx Cosmetics collaborated with Drench Cosmetics. I always think it's interesting when brands collaborate with each other, but these are 2 indie brands. I've never tried Drench Cosmetics, but I so desperately want their Cosmic Oasis palette to come back because I really, really, really want to get it. But I have tried Nyx. I have the palette that they made with Smoky Glow called the Smoky Glow palette. And I also have their Lemonade palette. They have really good eyeshadows. And I also really liked their collaboration with Neon MUA with the face palettes. I thought that that was a very innovative idea to have face palettes cater to different skin tones. I've heard nothing but praise about the actual quality of those palettes too. I kind of forgot to buy one. I told myself like, yeah, I should buy one, and then I just forgot. But yeah, you should definitely check out Nyx. They have like other products too, and they're based in Illinois, and they are Afro-Latina owned, which is cool. The weird thing about this palette for me was that it was available for pre-order before the reveal went up of the actual palette itself. They only had like the reveal of like, you know those pictures of eyeshadows where they're all crumpled up? That's the only picture that they posted, and then they were like, okay, it's available for pre-order, and I was like, okay, but what does it look like? That and the artwork, they released the artwork that was on the packaging, which I do think is very pretty. But yeah, I think that this is a cool color story. It's basically, again, like blues with like neutrals and things. I don't know how I feel yet. I don't know if I'm like, oh yeah, like I think it's pretty. I mean, I'm sure that the formula's fine. I'm just not sure how I feel. Avatar: The Last Race Bender came out with a mascara, and it's called the Explicit Mascara. The thing about this mascara is in one of the promo shots of Nikita, you know, showcasing this mascara, she's wearing false lashes and it's very fucking obvious. And somebody called her out on this. Let me see if I can pull up the comment. Somebody said, false lashes in a mascara campaign, really? And Nikita says, absolutely. This mascara is designed for blending your natural lash with false lashes. I will be posting images without false lashes as well, but it's more realistic with false lashes for me since I wear them every day. It's not more realistic to showcase them with false lashes. Like, okay, maybe for you, but not for nearly as many other people. And I don't think anyone needs a mascara for that reason, just to fucking blend them in. Like, even me, I wear false lashes, but I put on my mascara first because I feel like it's actually easier that way to put mascara on first before the lashes. I just don't, okay. It wasn't really advertised to blend in with false lashes at first because it just says extra length, volume and curl, slim precision brush, sculpts and gives length, creating a natural lash extension without clumping. So yeah, I am going to call this false advertising. I feel like she got called out so many times that she kind of just made shit up. That's just my theory, but it's just like, girl, like... Speaking of mascara, Jefferson Airplane also came out with a mascara, and it is called the Fuck Proof Mascara. I am not a prude at all. I am very sex positive, but why? Also, aren't most of his fans children? Like, ew. Like, there's literally a fucking tassel attached to this. Like, okay. At this point, his brand is just kind of like he's 12 years old and he's like, let me make these sexual jokes. Like, when you really think about it, fuck proof is just a very unnecessary way of saying waterproof because, you know, this is kind of painting a picture of when you're having sex and you're having such intense pleasure that you tear up, or when you're stinking on your partner's microphone, let's say. But here's the thing, like, I don't expect for my lipstick or foundation to last. I kind of expect for it to smear, so what good is it going to serve me if I'm like, oh, my mascara stayed on perfectly? Like, girl. Also, people review makeup on YouTube, correct? Can you imagine somebody trying to make a fucking video about this mascara? I'm testing out the fuck-proof mascara. You can't post that on YouTube. You'd have to post that onto Pornhub. Okay, what are you gonna be like? I'm gonna test out this mascara. I'll be right back and I'll tell you how it holds up. Like, yeah, as you can tell by me not even saying his name, I don't support this brand for... I don't even want to get into the reasons because there's plenty. And if you, for somehow, some way, don't know who I'm talking about, I'm jealous of you. Yeah,
It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much.
Hi, so I ended up posting this video later than I wanted to, so I'm just going to talk about things right here to make up for it because a few new things have come out. So, HipDot is collaborating with Hello Kitty, and this is kind of HipDot's weird shtick that they collaborate with everybody, and I think this palette is better than ColourPop's. But how do you make a Hello Kitty palette without any reds? I listen, and okay, they have the red sponge, like, okay, you know that there's red involved here, and then they have, is that a mascara? Girl, I don't know, it's late, okay. Yeah, like, it's cute, but okay. Friends is collaborating with Makeup Revolution. This is their round 2. And what is this? This is no better than their round 1. This needs to end. Okay? You're not going to make Fetch like, I'm tired of Friends. I'm tired of everything Friends, okay? Like, Friends taking over my entire life, and everything that I fucking see just makes me hate the show. Like, when is this going to end? And they're just really sucking this dry here. Like, you got sponges, you got fucking setting sprays. Why do Joey and Chandler and Ross need palettes? Girl, and and then there's face masks, like, and then there's a fucking crab mirror. Look, I don't know what this crab thing is, okay? But I'm just so sick and tired of okay, like, So Patrick Starr's brand One Size came out with a powder foundation. It's called the Turn Up the Base Versatile Powder Foundation. These swatches look weird to me. I don't know if they're just really heavily photoshopped. I mean, they probably are, but these shades look very odd and they don't really look very flattering. And I don't understand what the fuck this brand is doing. Yeah, after Patrick Starr was partying with Nikita, being a super spreader, and I think he just really was trying to do a Jefferson Airplane marketing tactic of being problematic, except it didn't work because nobody fucking buys his brand to begin with. So I don't care about this product, I don't care about this brand, and that's pretty much it. Fenty Beauty came out with the the Gloss Bomb Dip, and it's the same gloss bomb formula in a clip-it-on packaging. You can easily clip it on your clothes, belt, or wallet for peachy nude glossy lips in just a few finger taps. So this is just like, I don't know if this would be a bad idea if it weren't for a pandemic, but it is a bad idea because we are in a pandemic. And I know that people are acting like COVID is over and everybody's going fucking traveling, which I personally think is dumb, but I go downtown and I see people not really wearing their masks anymore, and it's very frustrating because it's like COVID is still a fucking thing. Like, even if you are fully vaccinated, nobody's going to assume that you are. And this is just, you're pushing the gun here. You're jumping the gun. I mean, you're jumping the gun here. Like, oh, let's make this on the go fucking gloss. Like, no. No, okay, look, is Rihanna even vaccinated? Like, this is, a lot of people were really hoping this was an April Fool's joke. I don't think it is. I think Rihanna is very serious here, but no, you totally missed the mark for me. Givenchy is coming out with these blushes, and they're called the Prisma Libre blushes. And the weird thing about them is that they're in a loose powder form, and I feel like that's not going to work. Like, it just sounds very cakey to me. But also, when have you ever heard anyone talk about Givenchy? Like, the only time I've ever seen like a dedicated video to Givenchy is Nikki Tutorials, when she did like a review of their liquid blush or something. It was like in a squeezy tube, I believe, and it was supposed to be like this weird transforming because it comes out black or something. I don't know, and it just didn't work because all it did was like lift her foundation. Like, did it come out black or did I make that? Yeah, I just remember like that, and other than that, I feel like nobody really talks about Givenchy, and yeah, I feel like these blushes, they just sound cakey. Stila is coming out with an eyeshadow palette, and it's called the Camouflage Beauty Palette, and I almost feel bad at how boring this is because Stila hasn't really made a hit since those fucking glitters, and I like, when is the last time they even released something? I really don't know. And I just don't like this color story. There's really nothing else to say. Like, it would be nice if they were to come out with something again that like really hit the market pretty well, but I don't think it will be. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is House of Siage is collaborating with Disney. They've done this before with the perfume, but now they're doing it with makeup. And House of Siage is kind of known for their products costing the price of a newborn baby. The eyeshadow Quint is $68. The Complexion Duo is $58, which, who the fuck is this for? That looks too light even for me. The lip gloss is $36 and the two lipsticks are $58 each. We have to be smart, okay? So this, just like with Lizzie McGuire, I mean, hey, I'm not gonna tell you like don't fucking buy this. Like, if you're willing to put down the coin for this, then you know, it's your wallet. Like I literally don't care. It's just very bland and very, very pricey for what it is. I mean, just in case you feel like you do get easily like convinced just with like really cute packaging of something that you like, you don't need this. Also, why does Disney give their rights to literally anyone who asks? Okay, I think that's everything that I'm going to talk about here. I didn't expect to go through this as quickly as I did. I mean, we'll see how long the video actually is, but I feel like I did okay. I was kind of worried about having a list this long, but we're done. Let me know what you think of these new releases in the comments. Was there anything that you thought was ridiculous? Was there anything that you want to try? Like I said, whenever I get the Alien Cosmetics palettes, I'll make a video about them. I just have no idea when that'll be. That's the thing with like indie brands, and when they do pre-orders, you have to have patience. Anyways, if you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of me, then go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You've been a lovely audience, and I'll talk to you later.